Welcome back to the program. So first thing is a little bit of housekeeping. I know that I've been putting like one of two, two of two, one of three, all that stuff, three of three, all that stuff on videos when I do multiple videos. But what I'm noticing is that when I put the numbers in front of it, I actually get less views per video. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put the title right in front and just look. Just look. You know that Mondays it's only going to be one. You know that Wednesdays it's only going to be one. And it was only one on Sundays, but of course I'm not doing that show anymore. So the rest of the time, just look. If you see another video, there's another video. And by the way, I'm now at a point where I'm getting smart. So one video is not 18 minutes long. The other one's not 9 minutes long. I actually have now a little bit of a countdown clock here. Okay? So trying to make things better for everybody. And making shorter 9, 10, 11, 12-minute videos, 2 or 3 of them, rather than 25-minute videos, 30-minute videos, whatever. Okay, so every single time there is a shutdown, and I mean every time in the past 30, 40 years, Republicans are always blamed for it. Always. Doesn't matter. Whether they're in power or out of power, it doesn't matter. They're always blamed for it, and they always pay for it, by the way, politically. However, they no longer have the narrative anymore. That's number one. And number two, the American people understand that this time things are different, and they know that the priorities of the Democrats were what? To pay for pet projects that no one wants, no one needs, and of course, the illegal alien health care issue, right? So Chucky is shutting down the government and Hakeem Jeffries and everything else. And it's been going on now for 28 days. I don't know. I'm not making another prediction. It's possible it could end next week only because all of these welfare sluts are going to be out there stealing food and candy and soda and cigarettes and beer and wine and whiskey and every other thing that they can get on their EBT cards, and then walking out of the store because, of course, they're not getting their government handouts anymore. So I have a feeling it's going to end sooner rather than later because the Democrats are paying for this politically, which I'm going to get to here in just a second. But what has changed? I mean, obviously, they don't have the narrative anymore. They don't own the media like they did for many, many decades. And they don't really have the prostitutes that are willing to do their bidding and lying for them as much. Yes, they still do, but not nearly as much. So what really changed? One word. Sombrero. That's it. Sombrero. And you can thank the Dilly Meme team for that. They are indeed masters of messaging. When it first happened and the shutdown first happened, they found out the reason they wouldn't sign the clean CR, continuing resolution, for folks who don't know what that means, was because they wanted to undo parts of the one big beautiful bill. They understand that all of that stuff is now permanent, and they are looking for a way to use leverage that they obviously don't have. And they said, well, we're going to shut the government down. And they've admitted it. They've all admitted it. Chris Coons, the senator from Delaware, just today said, we don't have the House, we don't have the Senate, we don't have the presidency, so this is our only little bit of leverage. They're admitting that they want to punish the American people for voting for President Trump and Republicans. They're admitting it. They're not even trying to hide it anymore, okay? But what happened, and what's different now, is as soon as the shutdown happened and everyone found out the reason why they shut the government down, we immediately, and I mean immediately, took over the narrative. We made sure that we entrenched that narrative before the Democrats could get together and make their phone calls to the heads of ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, and whatever, and tell them, we need your help to blame it on the Republicans like you always do for us, okay? They never had a chance. Why? Because the second the shutdown happened, Democrats were being slapped on the head with sombreros. And the messaging, the masters of messaging, using the sombrero and showing it over and over and over and over and over again in different memes daily. There's one guy that does a meme every single day. Every day he's got a new meme and he says, come on, Chucky, day 28. And he always has different songs and different music. These guys are the absolute best at messaging. Absolute best. And I actually know Brendan Dilley. When Trent Franks left Congress in 2018 over a scandal, there was an open seat. And I did I guess you could call it a debate, basically. There was 10 candidates, and it was in Sun City, Arizona, and I was the moderator for that debate, for that candidate forum, if you will, sponsored by AMAC at the time when I was their national spokesperson. And Brendan Dilley was one of the people that was running for Congress at that time. I had a chance to talk with him briefly, not very long, but he struck me as being similar to me, outspoken, not really someone that you would have thought would go into politics from that standpoint. And of course, eventually he didn't even get close, but many others didn't get close. Debbie Lesko is the one that won that seat. I remember clearly when she got up to the podium and gave her speech on why she should be the person for the position and everything else. Long story short, Brendan has found his calling in life, as we all do. I found mine, ran car dealerships for 13 years, got into the mortgage industry for 4 years, did very well in both, but I found my calling as well. We all find our calling. And the Dilley meme team and Brendan Dilley absolutely have found their calling. They are indeed the masters of messaging. And it's because of them and those sombrero memes that Republicans are no longer sitting in a position of being defensive. Rather, they're on offense. And here is more proof of that. Harry Enton, once again.
Analyst Harry Enton. Harry, we saw the troops. We talked about air traffic controllers. Not clear their pain will end the shutdown. One thing that might end a shutdown is political pain if parties start to feel that it's hurting them. So let's talk about that, starting with Republicans. How has the shutdown seemed to have affected their political standing?
Yeah, you might think, given that the Republicans are in charge of both the House and the Senate, that a government shutdown might actually hurt the Republican brand. But in fact, it hasn't. If any.
Okay, so what it says is shift in net popularity versus pre-shutdown. So overall, the GOP was up 2 points. Now, the GOP is actually up 5 percentage points. We went up after the shutdown, where everyone thought it was going to be the opposite.
It's been helped a little bit. Take a look here, the shift in net popularity versus pre-shutdown. When we're looking at the Republican Party overall, that brand actually up 2 points. That's within the margin of error, but clearly it hasn't dropped. Come over to this side of the screen. Look at the net approval ratings for Republicans in Congress. It's actually up 5 points since pre-shutdown. So what we're seeing here is the Republican brand in Congress has actually improved somewhat compared to where we were pre-shutdown, despite the fact that Republicans control. And that's the math that John Thune and Mike Johnson are looking at is, well, hey, why should we give, and electorally speaking, when our brand has actually improved a little bit?
Now, we say their position is getting better. With whom?
Yeah, okay, with whom? So I think it's two groups that it's so important to keep them.
Okay, so President Trump post-shutdown, so since it's been shut down, right? He has gained 12 points with the GOP. 12 points. Now, on the other side, independents. And we know that independents are the most popular and the most important group when it comes to electoral success or failure, right? I mean, the base does what they do, and the two bases do what they do, and it's what happens in the middle that wins elections. Well, independents are up 8 points, okay? And again, this is during this shutdown.
An eye on, all right. Change in the Republican Congress's net approval rating versus pre-shutdown. It's rallying the base for sure. Look at this, the net approval rating up 12 points versus pre-shutdown. But it's not just with the base. It's also with the middle of the electorate. Look at this. Among independents, it's up 8 points as well. So we've got a situation here where Republicans with the shutdown are actually rallying their base, but it's also something that's not hurting them with the folks in the middle. If anything, it's helping them with folks in the middle. And this is the type of math that if you're Republicans, you like to see, right? Because something could rally the base but alienate those in the middle, or something could rally those in the middle but alienate the base. But the truth is, we're not seeing that. What we're seeing is the Republican brand has actually gotten better among independents, and it's also gotten better among Republicans as well, that Republican brand when it comes to those in Congress. So again, what's the electoral reason that Republicans would give in at this point?
And Democrat.
It's very simple. Sombrero memes, okay? We got out in front of the narrative immediately. We did not allow the left-wing media to solidify a fake, false narrative. And you can thank all these people that have put out all these memes and have done all these things that have been very public. President Trump, of course, started it as well, because he's one of the ones that took one of the original Sombrero memes and he reposted it, and then everybody saw it and everybody went crazy. And of course, the media jumped all over it. They took the bait, okay? They took the bait. And from there, they realized, wow, we've got something here. We've got sombreros. Let's see, what else can we do? Then we're flying around, and they call them no kings, right? So we won the no kings narrative as well. They had a, quote, no kings rally, and how did we respond? By dumping shit on their heads, okay? We are kicking ass and taking names, and we are fighting like I've always wanted to see us fight. I've been doing this for years, and I've always thought that the Republicans were total wimps and cowards, afraid of their own shadow. Well, you know what? There's a lot more people using social media in a better way. You've got libs of TikTok that exposes all their craziness. I mean, I remember in the very beginning when President Trump won this term, all the crying videos and all the people shaving their heads and wearing weird clothing and bracelets of solidarity and all this other garbage. You remember it? I remember it. My wife and I sat up all night cracking up watching video after video after video of that stuff. Okay? So the bottom line here, we are winning. We are winning the narrative, and we are winning the narrative huge. So let's just hope that the Democrats do cave, because there's no reason for Republicans to cave. We are winning. We're winning the narrative. Clearly, the polling all shows it. And let me show you one other thing, why I know that the country is done with these idiot Democrats. New voter party registration since the 2024 election, okay? November of 2024, so when he won, basically, Republicans gained 372,000 new members. December, they gained 106,000. In January, they gained 188,000. Let's see. In February, they gained 279,000. So that was the month that, or January, and then February, that's when he started signing all those executive orders. All the people loved it. He went after all the trans stuff. He took the trans out of the women's bathrooms and sports and all. He did all those executive orders, and 279,804 people said, yeah, you know what? I like that. I want to become a Republican. They left the Democratic Party. March, 75,000. April, 38,000. May, 130,000. June, 12,000. July, 29,000. August, 98,000. September, last month, 84,000. So obviously there was a big jump in the front. Then it kind of teetered down. Perhaps maybe the Epstein stuff. I don't know. Whatever. It kind of teetered down. Maybe it was the Iran situation. Whatever. But it's still going, and it's moving in the right direction. So much so that, listen to this. Republicans have gained 1,393,133 new voters. Okay? And by the way, this is from let's see, what is this from? the New York Times, believe it or not. So, this is left-leaning stuff. Democrats have lost 2.1 million voters. Okay? 2.1 million members of the Democrat Party have left. Now, whether they went to the Republicans or not, I don't know. A lot of them did. Republicans have gained 2.4 million new voters. Okay? So Democrats lose 2.1 million. We gain 2.4 million. How many independents were gained from that? I don't know. It doesn't have it in the information. But the bottom line is President Trump has a 57% approval rating. Actually, I think it's higher than that. But we'll go with that for now. We're winning. We're winning. Now we just got to make sure that we get election integrity done. We continue the deportations. We got to continue to clear all these people out. Clearly, these rallies and everything else that they're doing, none of it's working. The American people voted for safety and security. Period. End of story. And that's what's winning. And you know what? It's going to continue to win as well. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.